Okay, run that one more time, play that back. How is everybody doing? All the way across. I cannot tell you how energized and excited I am to see so many familiar faces today. My name is Brian Bell, Vice President of Communications and Social Impact here at Strava, pronouns he, him, and I have to say, welcome to Camp Strava 2023. Now you see me up here in a fancy microphone and I'm giving you hands and energy, and you could say I'm an MC today. I'm not. I'm actually your camp counselor, and I'm here to help you navigate through all the twists and turns that we have planned. Today is going to be a phenomenal day. I cannot stress that enough, but I want you to hear from my mouth to your ears. You're in for some pretty spectacular stuff. But before we get started, we have a tradition here at Strava that any time before we do a major event like this, we like to do a land acknowledgement and acknowledge the traditional, ancestral, stolen, and unceded territory of the Chumash, Tongva, Kizh, and Tataviam on which we will gather this week. Tovangar, translating to the world, provided resources, community, and reciprocity for the indigenous peoples living here, past, present, and future. Once home to 5,000 villages, all interconnected and independent from each other, Tongva people are still living here and caretaking the lands today. We believe that it is important to acknowledge the people of Tuvangard and support their efforts in ways we can, because for far too long, indigenous people have been erased from the larger conversation around outdoor recreation and conservation efforts. As the original caretakers of the land, their voices should be centered. This acknowledgement demonstrates a recognition of the impact settler colonialism and a commitment to working to dismantle its legacy and our work here at Strava. All right, who's ready? I know you love looking at this, but it's not about me today, so I'll acknowledge that. Without further ado, I would like to introduce co-founder and CEO Michael Horvath.
All right, welcome to Camp Strava. Yeah, the lights are bright. I got to get used to it. I'm Michael Horvath, pronouns he, him, co-founder and CEO of Strava. We're so happy you're here. This is a day we've talked about for years. Every industry has the event that brings together the people that shape its future, and it's time for ours. But this event actually isn't about Strava. It's about all of us in this room, and about what each of us is building and contributing to a world built around movement, around exploration, around finding what motivates and inspires us to be better, to be active, to live healthier lives. It's also not about us as individuals, it's about us as community builders. We are the people defining the future of this industry. We are the athletes and explorers. We are the event organizers, coaches, and experts. We're the brands and devices building the experiences of tomorrow. The decisions we're going to make will shape how, where, and why people move in the decade ahead and beyond. So that's why we're here, to talk about where things are going so that we can build it together. We say Strava was founded 14 years ago in 2009, but actually it goes back a lot longer than that. 35 years, in fact, to last century, as I like to say. But before I go into a little of the history, I want to introduce someone very special, my best friend and co-founder of Strava, chair of our board, Mark Gainey. I see him there, right there. And I'm sure it's as uncomfortable for him to look at himself when he was 20 as it is for me. But I hope many of you already know him, and I hope that many more can meet him throughout the day today. Well, this is where we met. This is where Mark and I started our journey together. Newell Boathouse, it's the home of the men's crew team at Harvard. And the people, places, and events that we experienced there connected us to something amazing, connected us and helped us, motivated us to become the best rowers we could be. But when we graduated and we left that community with its camaraderie and its competition, we found that we were a whole lot less motivated to be active. When Mark and I reunited in Palo Alto in 1994, at the dawn of the consumer internet, we imagined that through technology, we would be able to bring that team back. We'd be able to build the virtual boathouse. And the only problem was the technology wasn't ready for that idea. At least not yet. So if you fast forward to 2006, 12 years later, Mark and I are still looking for something that will connect us to more fun and adventure around being active. But now, technology, in fact, the whole fitness industry, is changing rapidly. So in July of 2006, Mark and I got together in Vail, Colorado. And over the course of 3 days, we hammered out what it was that we were setting out to build. And though we couldn't exactly pin down what would it have to be to generate these outcomes, that we didn't let that hold us back. The key here is that we weren't setting out to build a tracking app or a tool. Our idea was we got to deliver and build a platform for the world. So we gave it the name Strava, which means to strive in Swedish. And we didn't know what it would look like, but we were really sure of one thing, that someone was going to build the platform to motivate the world to move. And we believed that the source of motivation for the people on that platform were the communities that already existed and those that could be created through technology, bridging the digital and real worlds. Here are some pictures from early days, and some people in the room can recognize themselves in these photos. The founding team, some early developers. We're not exactly sure why the apples are on the desk, but my theory has something to do with Newton, the apple falling. Who knows? But you can see we started in one place. We started in cycling. It was never the end goal. It was just the go-to-market strategy. In the beginning, we said it doesn't have to be big. It has to be great for the cyclists on the platform looking to connect around their shared passion. And our first company vision said to inspire and motivate the global community of athletes. And it's still true today, as true as ever. And here's a picture of the first Strava beta. We call it now the Green Machine. And can you imagine it wasn't orange? So our vision gets refined over the next 14 years as we take in new technologies and we listen to our community and many of you in the room. And now our vision is really clear that actually our work is to power you, to provide a platform where any athlete, developer, group, brand, or social cause can motivate the world to move, where any device can power any activity, where any athlete can have a voice, where cities can rewire how people move through them by bike and foot, and communities can come together around the shared experience of chasing our goals and sport. Look around the room. Look around today. When you're around, surrounded by all these people, all the people here and all the people not here, 24/7, 365 days a year, are a part of this. You represent the people and organizations with the greatest potential to have impact through our platform, to build community, to motivate people to live better and healthier lives. And we've come a long way together. Though we didn't set out to be big, this boathouse now has a lot going on. Over 100 million active people across 190 countries, with 1 to 2 million more joining us every month. And we're for more than cyclists today, with 50 different sports represented. And there's a developer and partner ecosystem that's rich and vibrant, building better experiences for our community and our partners. And it's not just one community anymore. It's hundreds of thousands, many boathouses, not just one. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, at least for the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you inside some of the experiences that we're working to unlock on our platform, experiences that we hope will unleash your creativity and potential. And some will be turning on today, others will come through the rest of the year. And after that, we're going to turn the mic and hear from many of you in the room before we come back together for a special session hosted by Rich Roll, and then a happy hour to close out the day. I want to end with 3 backdrop thoughts to anchor our time together. First, how can we inspire and open doors to people, places, and events, making movement accessible, changing the very fabric of cities, fields, trails, and roads? How can we motivate through progress and friendships, support and knowledge, whether you're by yourself or in a group, whether you're local or connecting around a shared passion with friends on the other side of the world? And finally, how can we lift everyone up? The building blocks of movement are equal. A person or group moving through space, connected around a common pursuit or goal with the same foundation: to track, to discover, to learn, to share, to remember, to connect, to strive. What we're building together is bigger than any single sport or activity. It's about the human condition to move and connect, and that will make all the difference. Thank you. And now, I would like to welcome Strava's Chief Business Officer, Zip Allen, onto the stage.
No one leaps out of bed at 5 a.m. to run miles in the dark for no reason. Not one of us just randomly gets inspired to go on a century ride. Behind every push, jump, lift, climb, pedal, every activity, there is a reason why we move. Something that gets us started and keeps us going. It can be small or even silly. It can be really deep and meaningful. But every one of those reasons is unique and special to each one of us. Now, at its heart, Strava is a motivation machine. You heard Michael say, we inspire the world to be more active. And while we've all heard the saying, if it's not on Strava, it didn't happen, that's right. The public record is not actually what drives the motivation machine of Strava. The magic of our community is in the connection, the belonging, that sense of togetherness that we get when we move together. And that's where all of you come in this room and listening on our live stream. You are creating community on Strava. Every time you share your stories, your progress in your active life, your reason why behind your activities. It's what we celebrated in the video that started us off today. This is community, and this is why we Strava. And so to bring that to life, I would love to share a little bit of my journey with you. Some of you may know that I joined Strava a little over a year ago. And while I've been active my whole life, I wouldn't say that I really participated in any of our core sports that we're really good at supporting. I was a dancer growing up. I danced all through college. And so my main activity was Pilates. And when I did go for a bike ride, it was to the community park with my 6- and 4-year-old, and maybe my dog in the basket. So when I joined the team, I decided that I would take up running. And I'm a type A personality, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to set myself a goal that's somewhat achievable but still challenging. I'm going to try and run a half marathon. And this is a really accomplished room of incredibly athletic people. And so some of you may not remember, running is super hard. When I got started, I couldn't imagine running for 10 minutes, let alone hours at a time. And so this is how I started when I got serious about my training. If you can't read that subheadline, it says literally the longest run I had ever run in my life was this 4.39-mile loop around my house. And I remember every single step of it because it was a struggle, and I thought I was gonna die when I got home. But I stuck with it, and eventually that long run became the short run. And you may not know it, but many of you in this room inspired me on my active journey. Folks like our very own Larissa Rivers, who I know a lot of you know. She's been at Strava. Yes, Larissa. She's been at Strava for over a decade. She's also a mom. She has a really challenging career and job, and she is so consistent in her training. And she's also really fast, very inspiring. Sabrina Pace Humphreys and Sunny Pert, woo! They started Black Trail Runners in the UK. And when I see their community activate, both on and off of our platform, it reminds me that people that look like me belong outside running long distances. And Jackie Hunts-Boersma, her mantra of I can do hard things has helped me on so many of those hard training runs. Well, I did end up running my half marathon last year. And I liked it so much that I ran it again a couple weeks ago, and I got a PR. And my team has convinced me to try out a full marathon in New York this fall. So why do I tell you my story? It's because all of you are creating the conditions, the communities, the content, the inspiration that motivates someone like me, who was not a runner, to achieve something more than I ever thought was possible for myself. You are creating the most active, most inclusive, most connected community of active people in the entire world. And that is so inspiring. And that's what today is all about. Many of you already know each other, but chances are that you're going to meet somebody new today. And I don't know if you've met the people sitting next to you, but chances are you are sitting next to a super cool person who is doing something amazing in our community. So say hi. All right, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. I would like to highlight just a few of the people that you will meet today. Bryce Savoy, who is the co-founder of the Black Neighborhood, his organization focuses on creating safe places for communities of color to be active outside. Lexi DuPont, she's a free skier, and she's a founder of Sister Summit. It's an annual event that brings together female mountain sports athletes to learn from each other and create equity in their sport. We have Vasu Sojitra. He's an adaptive athlete and founder of the Inclusive Outdoors Project. They focus on bringing marginalized communities together with the outdoor experiences. We have Brooke Gowdy here. She is the co-leader of the Denver chapter of Black Girls Do Bike and founder of Rowdy Gowdy. That organization is focused on getting women of color onto bicycles. And we've got Molly Cameron. She's founded an organization called RIDE, which stands for Respect, Inclusion, Dignity, and Equity, supporting the LGBTQAI+ community and environmentalism in our outdoor sports communities. And I could go on about every single one of you in this room. The magic of motivation happens when our chosen community and our whys, our reasons why we move, are in sync with each other. Our role as the platform is to motivate and create the conditions that give you more ways to share your stories, more ways to explore together, and more ways to continue to build those connections and communities. And to talk to you about how we're going to do that, I'd like to introduce to you Misha Gopal, our Vice President of Product and founder of FatMap.
All right. Okay, before we look forward, I just want to take a moment to look back. Does anyone remember this? This is when I started my career as an engineer, just as the internet was getting started. It was a clunky experience. About 300 million people online. We had to connect by dial-up. You even paid by the minute. And it was, when you did get there, it was like this anonymous place, like a totally separate world from the real world we live in. But now, fast forward, we have smartphones, 5G, Wi-Fi, and all these innovations mean that suddenly 5.5 billion of us are connected today. We connect instantly with people in every corner of the world, and we do that with our real names. We show up on networks, whether that's for work, keeping up with friends, or following our passions. And of course, if your passion was being active back in those days, yeah, you were probably tracking your training with a stopwatch or a paper journal, or actually, most of us were probably not bothering at all, because why would you? But thanks to Michael, Mark, their vision, and actually the devices, gear, inspiration, and know-how created by all of the people in this room, now hundreds of millions of people track their training every day and lead happier, healthier lives. Fun fact, in the past year alone, we've had over 1.8 billion activities tracked in our community, covering over 24.5 billion kilometers. And if you're wondering how far that is, it's all the way to Pluto and back, twice. And so where Michael and Mark started with a vision to motivate people to be active, for me, that motivation was always exploration. From when I was really young, I just loved going to places which you couldn't control with the flick of a switch or the turn of a dial. It was like the antidote to my computer geek. And I was inspired by the stories of Bonington, Rebufat, Lynn Hill, Bill Briggs. And so around 10 years ago, there was an itch I just had to scratch. I moved to the mountains, and I started training to be a mountain guide. And then when I got there, it suddenly dawned on me that despite all of this technological advancement that we had, where people like Google had made dynamic, contextual, real-time maps to help make all the daily decisions we needed to make in our daily lives, back when it came to exploration, I was still piecing together all of this different information. I mean, literally, we were using this stuff like not so long ago. Books, blogs, message boards, you had to bring all the stuff into one place. And the whole experience kind of needed practice and expertise that made it really inaccessible to most people. So I kind of started around thinking, how can we use these advances in technology to help more people explore the world around them? And so for the past 10 years, the company I started, FatMap, has been building a mapping technology designed specifically for human-powered movement. And that's how I came to Strava. Last year, we joined the Strava family in an ambition to combine this map with the local knowledge and activity of 100 million people. And so that brings me to the first of the two big developments we want to announce today. Welcome to a map that's built around people rather than cars. So wherever your activity takes you, you can explore every lake, river, peak, or place in fully immersive 3D in a way that makes it so much easier to understand. If you're hitting the trails of Chamonix, riding powder in the winter, or just planning your next run or ride in the city. This allows you to explore and plan like never, ever before. And because we know sometimes it takes confidence to leave the front door, we want you to understand what you're getting into. And so you can now do that with immersive 3D fly-throughs of any route. All of this is already available today for Strava subscribers on the FatMap app. And by the end of this year, it will be part of the Strava app as well. And we like to say it's not a trail map, and it's not a street map. It's a local knowledge map, because it's built by the activity of people all over the world, and it's updating automatically every single day. And so we started with the heat map, and now we're going the next step. So let's say you're visiting the beautiful Arrovie region in the French Alps, and you can instantly know it like a local in a way that you couldn't before. You can suddenly see, hey, where have people been hiking the last week? Where have they been mountain biking? Where have they been riding their road bikes? And hey, where can I still ski? And so all of this is powered by the experience of the people who came before you. And what's great about it is now, gone are those days where I was piecing together all of that different information. We're building a map that can automatically adapt to answer whatever the question you have at the right time. So let's say I'm in Switzerland, and I need the official Swiss map. Maybe it's cold out today, and I want to stick to the sunny aspects. Or I'm going to hit the backcountry, and I want to stay safe and keep out of the way of the avalanches. All of this is just a click away. And we're making live data too. So if you're wondering if it's worth making the trip to Zermatt this weekend, well, you can see that right now, how much snow there is with our live snow layers. And if you've ever actually been to Zermatt and experienced how stressful it is trying to figure out at the end of the day how to get back to the right part of the resort and which lifts are running, well, now you'll be able to see live data in the app, so you know exactly which lifts are running with your location, so you don't get caught out. All right, so we're going further. We're bringing all of that together with a completely new routes experience on Strava. It doesn't matter if you're hitting the tarmac or the trail, we're going to update our route planning this year, powered by AI, that can generate really great routes in just one click, anywhere in the world. So let's say I've just got to Boulder, I've got time for a short ride, I don't want to spend all my time planning. Now I just tell Strava the kind of ride that I want, and it will do the rest. So here, I've decided I want something popular, I don't know the place. I could equally ask it to give me something new that I've never done before, because it knows everywhere I've been and the things that I've done. Okay, so now I get a selection of different routes. And actually, there's one important thing here, which is these aren't based on like other maps before have been about the shortest route or the fastest route. This is really built to give you the greatest route. And so let's say this one looks interesting. Let's check it out. We have completely redesigned our route detail page. And it's designed so that you can decide very quickly whether this is actually the right route for you. I can get a feel of what it's going to be like, and I can even use community data like photos taken on the route this week to see what the conditions are like or whether I actually want to go further. That same community data is powering other insights, like how long is this going to take me? And if I want to dig deeper, I can see who's done it recently, and even see which one of my friends has done it recently. It looks like, you probably can't see that, but it looks like Michael and Zip have done it just a couple of days ago. Maybe I'll send them a message. And so when I'm ready to hit the road, we're combining all of this with the mapping technology. So in a couple of clicks, I download everything I need so that even if I don't have cell coverage on the ride, I can navigate, I can get to the end, and I can conserve my phone battery and see my location, even if I don't have cell coverage. But there's more. There's much more. Sometimes, it's not a route you need the route. And so we're launching something completely new this year. We're opening up Strava And we're going to enable people to publish routes and collections directly on the platform. This means resorts, bike parks, events, professionals, local experts, and brands are able to produce content relevant to the local community, add rich descriptions, photos, safety information, and make them easily discoverable. So whether that's specifically the official trails you're looking for, or whether it's local recommendations for specific interests, you'll find a whole rich index of routes you can trust that have generated and created by the community. And I don't know if you sometimes have that feeling that you know you need something, but you don't quite know what you need. Well, for that, we're bringing route collections. So here you can make them for yourself. You can make them with friends to plan the next trip. Maybe it's the itinerary that you're thinking of doing. Maybe it's a potential selection of routes. But you can also curate and publish themed collections. So you can help others discover things to do around them, whether it's selection destination guides, whether it's multi-day through hikes. I mean, really, the limitation is only your imagination. And because we know all of this stuff that you're going to spend the time creating needs to show up in more than just Strava, we're investing in our embeds so that the 3D mapping you saw and all the routes and maps can be embedded directly into websites, news, and blogs, but even connecting to physical experiences in national parks or events. This is one of my favorite quotes, which is that the wonderful things in life are the things you do, not the things you have. And with the investment we're making in maps, we really want to bring in this new era where we think these active experiences can become more accessible for more people, to enjoy it under their own steam. And that's whether they want to do it on their own or with others. And so that brings me to the second thing. I said there were two. Well, there's now the second one. And that relates to our community. Over the next year, we're completely rebuilding how groups and communities form on Strava. We started with this one big community, and now we've got to a point where actually we recognize there are many smaller communities. So we're making a shift to the way things work. Instead of being that one big community, we want to become the home of many smaller communities. And really that's been driven by what we've heard from all of you, which is that now you're motivated by much more than leaderboards and feeds. And that sometimes, for some people, that competitive environment puts you off or makes you feel judged. And so we hear you, and we're completely rebuilding how this works on Strava. And it all starts with a new group home that we launched last week. So here, every group is your specific community. You can share with, who, and when you choose. It's like having your own mini Strava that you can choose who sees what and when. All of the experiences in Strava are going to integrate seamlessly. So here you can see someone's planning a hike. You can see who's coming. You can RSVP in one click. If you're thinking about growing your community, or your community wants to help you find other people who have the same interest, it's now much easier to invite people, even ways to invite people when you bump into them on the trail. And we're making huge updates to the club posts, where routes, photos, and everything else gets fully integrated, including with notifications, much improved and personalized. So now here, I get notified that someone's posted a question in the group. I go straight through to the post, and the route is seamlessly integrated, which means if I decide I want to join Emily and Mike on this today, in one click, I can go back to that route detail page, see all the information I need to know, and decide if I'm going to join. And on top of that, those map superpowers are coming to groups too. So let's say in this particular run club, we go beyond activities, kudos, and feeds. Now you can see the whole combined activity of the group over the year in one place. It's kind of like a private group heat map. It's great because it's a way of memorializing what you've done. You can see the photos, and it's a great way of remembering the things that the group have done over the course of the year. But it actually serves another purpose, which is this becomes an interest map. Now I can discover trails of the activity of people who have exactly the same interests as me and use that to inspire me to go on my next activity. And there's more. We heard that you want to integrate content from other platforms. As we become a platform, you need to see many things you've created in many different places. And so we're integrating video, including things like YouTube, so you can play video directly in the app, and you can share that straight into your group. This is cool. It looks like where we went this morning. So, OK. And last but not least, we've had a lot of feedback about our group challenges. And so we're listening to that feedback, and we're expanding the limits from 25 to 500. And yeah, it's going to make a big difference. And the other thing that's happening is they're going to become directly integrated into groups. So it sounds like a small thing, but it's actually a big thing. Because if you're a brand organizer or someone who's using our sponsored challenges, that investment now doesn't just go to increasing the participation of the challenge. It's actually going to growing your community with people who stay engaged and can hear more from you in the future. So this is just the beginning. We've shared a few things today. We're really excited about bringing it to life. But there's more. There's actually more. Not only I'm going to tell you about it today, but there's more coming this year. And so whether you're a pro athlete, whether you're a coach, whether you're a local guide, an event organizer, or you're building a brand, there's so much more to come. And I think our belief really is fundamentally that this development we're doing in maps and groups is where technology can be used for good, where instead of getting us stuck to our phones, it can get us outside, physically open the door to places and experiences that we maybe couldn't do before. And so I think my reflection is when we look back in 20 years from now, maybe the maps I showed you will look a bit like that cupboard full of paper maps and guidebooks. Maybe the app I showed you will feel like a stopwatch and a paper training log. But I think the one thing that will just remain consistent is that we'll continue working on helping, I think, what we believe are fundamental human needs, which are to move, to explore, and to find community. And I think if there's one reason for that, that's simply because they bring us joy. And as George Mallory said, that's what life is for. So, thank you. All right. I think Michael has something else to say.
All right. Yes. We have one more thing to show you, or as Zip said, two more whys. Two exceptional partner experiences unlocking the power of community and movement. One that joins you while you move, and one that motivates you wherever you move. To start, let's welcome Ian Geller from Spotify.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ian Geller, Vice President of Business Development at Spotify. My pronouns are he and him. At Spotify, we strive to make it as easy as possible to access your favorite audio, no matter where you are or how you choose to listen. It's why we've invested in partnership integrations across over 2,000 different devices and platforms, from earbuds and speakers, TVs, smartwatches, and social networks. We want to make sure that the second you decide to listen to something, Spotify is never more than a click away, no matter where you are or what you're doing. When it comes to maximizing the impact of your workout, not only is the audio that you listen to important, but how you listen and interact with that audio can make all the difference. So whether you're warming up with a workout playlist, lifting weights while listening to your favorite podcast, or cooling down with an audiobook, Spotify's got you covered. Through this whole process, it's really been amazing to hear about all the ways that Strava's users are forming communities and inspiring one another to move. As an avid jogger myself, I'm not half marathon jogger yet, but I'll get there. As an avid jogger myself, I know firsthand how important it is to have this connection to audio while you're moving. Listening is an essential part of my runs. And I'm always reaching out to my community to get good listens and good recommendations. But that said, it's a challenge for me because what I want to listen to when I'm running changes constantly. Sometimes I'm tired and I need something sort of mellow to keep me from overdoing it. Sometimes I'm going for distance and I really need to lose myself in an engaging podcast. But since my audio needs are constantly changing, I'm always trying to DJ when running. And I've got to admit, I've gotten pretty good at it, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to use Spotify while I'm jogging. And that's why I'm super excited to talk about our new partnership with Strava and how it will continue to bring you the right audio for your workout while still keeping you in the zone. Now, while you're using Strava to record your activities, our integration allows you to seamlessly connect with the music, podcasts, and audiobooks that motivate and inspire you, straight from the Strava app. That means no more switching between apps or interrupting your flow. As a runner, I know how important staying focused on your workout can be. And even those small moments of distraction take you out of your game, and they accumulate over time, and they hold you back from achieving your goals. And we've heard now from Strava users that this integration is really helping them save time, but more so, it's dramatically improving their experience while working out. So now, fitness enthusiasts have the ability to seamlessly find the perfect piece of audio that they need to maximize their workout while minimizing their distraction. Instead of consistent interruptions, all you have to do is concentrate and tap into the motivation that gets you moving. And if you need some extra motivation, look for our Spotify codes inside your gift bag. You can scan them and get inspired with Strava's playlists only on Spotify. And if you need to know how to scan a code, just open up our app, look for the camera icon above the search box, use that to scan the code and get taken directly to the playlist. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. All right, thanks, Ian. Yeah, this experience is awesome. And we've only had the experience live for about a month or so, and we're seeing some really great results from how our communities are using the combination of Spotify and Strava together. Just a fun fact, so far we've been tracking average listen time. It's about 30 to 40 minutes. We can guess people are using it running, using it working out. It can go wherever you go. So there's another company that believes that sport has the power to move the world, and it's a company that we've long admired, not just for the brand they've built, but for the real and digital experiences that they have created that motivate the world to tap into something bigger. We're thrilled to share this partnership that we were working on, wait for it, with Nike. Yeah. Mark and I spent countless hours talking about the brands that we loved when we were starting Strava. And Nike always was in that conversation. And there's no doubt why. Because they have reached this level of just awareness in the world and understanding. So you're going to have to hold your anticipation until tomorrow, because this is coming. This just got done as right here as we're starting Camp Strava. Thank you for all the teams that are working on this. But we're unveiling this partnership and what we can unlock together. We're really excited where it can go. So let me talk a little bit about it. We're going to tap into something we think is truly unique, that there are already millions of people who are around the world who are already using Nike's experiences, their apps, their content, to tap into how to help motivate them to be fit. But we're going to bring these two worlds together. Within a few weeks, Nike members will have the power to share their Nike Run Club and Nike Training Club activities to their communities on Strava. Yeah. And in doing that, you can get all the kudos and comments and everything from that you wish you could get today. So that's going to be awesome. And you're starting today, in fact, you can go to the new Nike Club on Strava and be inspired by some amazing content from some of the world's best coaches, athletes, and experts. So please check that out today. And we think this is just the start. And all this proving that the potential of a platform is not what we build, but what we build together. So enough about us. Now we're done. We're going to bring Camp Counselor Brian Bell back on the stage to take us into the rest of the day. Thanks.